Hello, this is Tristan from cardiocritic.com, and this is a video presentation of the Garmin Fenix 5. This is my very own Garmin Fenix 5 that I bought myself, and it's been my training watch for the last 3 months, replacing my Garmin Fenix 3. I'm just going to basically take you through the main features and functions of the watch so that you know, if you're considering buying one yourself, you can know what it sort of can do and what it can't do. But it's more what it can do than what it can't do, because it pretty well does absolutely everything. The Fenix 5 comes in 3 different sizes. There's a small, which is a 5S. There's a 5, which is this one, the regular one, and there's also a 5X. The X being the extra large, and the X being the only one which has built-in maps. So if you're an outdoor adventurer and you want maps on your wrist, then it would be the Garmin Fenix 5X that you want. I'm just going through some of the main buttons here to show you through the different apps that you get on the home screen. As with all of the modern Garmin watches, you have a multitude of watch faces that you can choose from. I'm just going to go through a few here. Each one of these, you can then go into it and you can customize it more personally, so you can choose the data fields, top, bottom and side, the colors, the themes, or you can even build your own completely new one. So let's just go to this one, for example. Apply. There we go. It's a nice feature because you can just change the look of the watch if you get a bit bored of something. Technical features and functions, I'll scroll along the bottom. So things like battery life and such like, hopefully you'll see those across the bottom of this video. So this video is just to give you a feel for the watch. So we've got off the wrist heart rate using the Garmin Elevate system. It's going to get blurred there for some reason, sorry. I think it's the glare coming off the camera. So off the wrist heart rate, and it's, everyone always asks how accurate is it, blah blah blah. Yes, it is accurate. It will give about 90% accuracy for about 98% of the time. I've used them extensively for everything from running, mountain biking, road biking, and the honest answer to that question for all wrist-based heart rate monitors is, if you insist on 100% accuracy or 99.999% accuracy, then you have to have a chest strap. For me, this has been absolutely spot on. I've had a couple of spikes and a couple of dropouts, mainly when I've been doing sprint intervals on my road bike. If you get excessive vibration on the wrist, then you might find that. But for running, mountain biking, road biking, windsurfing, you know, 98% of the time it will be absolutely spot on and representative of what I'm doing. But that goes for every good quality. So the Polar, like the Polar M600, the M430, the Fitbit Charge 2, Sunto Spartan Trainer, Wrist HR, Sunto Sport, Sunto Spartan Sport, all of those products with good quality LED optical wrist-based sensors will give good heart rate accuracy, but they can occasionally drop out. So hopefully that covers that, because it is something I get asked a lot, and yeah, that's the honest answer. So for me, it's absolutely fine, and I use it all the time, and I'm free of a chest strap. Okay, let's go through the buttons. So I'm using these up and down buttons here on the right to go through some of the main features. So all day heart rate, so I get 24/7 heart rate, and you can then use the top right button to go into to get more detail, and then the bottom right button goes back. So we have all day heart rate. This is your all day stress. Now I think that's actually picking up my heart rate off my finger. It uses heart rate variability to look for your stress throughout the day, and then you get a graph of that, and obviously all of this details for all of your days are sent to the Garmin Connect app, so you can see stress over long periods of time and see if there's any stress triggers at certain points of the day which are causing you to be overstressed. You can use the relax timer, which is a 4-fold breath relaxation method, where you breathe in for 4, hold your breath for 4, and breathe out for 4. So let's just show you that working. You breathe in for 4, hold your breath for 4, breathe out for 4, hold your breath for 4, and breathe in for 4. So that's the fourfold breath, which is a relaxation feature that you will find on these newer Garmin Fenix models. This to me is the most useful feature. If you're serious about your sport and your performance, this is a rolling training status. I think it takes into consideration your last 30 days, and again I'll check that on the bottom. But I've seen every single state here, because I've seen tapered, I've seen recovery, I've seen untrained. Basically I had the flu over Christmas, so this went right down, and I'm only just now put it back into productive. So each and every training session is sort of analysed, and it tells you where you are in your sort of your microcycles of whether you're ready for your race, tapering up to a race, relaxing, recovering, overtraining, etc, etc. So that's a brilliant new feature. Top right button again, you get your Vo2 Max for both running and for cycling. And let's go back. So that's your training status. These are, you don't have to have all these displays. You can choose what you see on the home screen. So I've got my last sport, which tells me my last run. Obviously you get some details. Etc, etc. Oh, that's another great new feature there. Training effect. Training effect has been with Sunto and Garmin for quite a long time, and initially training effect was just overall aerobic training effect. Now what Garmin have done on the Fenix range here, the Fenix 5, is you get aerobic and anaerobic training effect. And there we go, this shows it here. So there's my aerobic 3.5 and my anaerobic 2.4 for that run. So if you just did a very long, easy run, then your aerobic would be high and your anaerobic would be low. If you did a sprint interval session, so little aerobic benefit but high anaerobic benefit, then it would be reversed. So these are out of 5, so that's 3.5 out of 5 and 2.4 out of 5. And it also gives you the breakdown here of improving lactate threshold and maintaining anaerobic fitness. That, to me, those two things, the training status and the two-part training effect, are two of the best features that Garmin have introduced recently. Obviously, as with most of these watches, you get steps, daily steps, distance, etc. That's all obviously paired again to the sent to the app. Keep going down. Barometer, altimeter, and digital compass. And then you can then go into the 24-hour graphs. You can change the resolution of the graphs as well. So for me, as a windsurfer with an eye on weather patterns, barometric pressure is quite useful, and that's why, as you can see on my here, I've chose that as one of my data screens. You can choose all of these. Keep going down. Thermometer. There's a barometric pressure sensor and a temperature thermometer built into the watch. Obviously, normally if it's on your wrist, then it gives you the temperature off your wrist. So if you want to know the air temperature, that would be off your wrist. So I sometimes put it on my bike when I'm out for a ride, so that will give me the real outdoor temperature. Sorry. Music control. Forward track, back track. This is another great feature, but you do find this in a lot of watches now. But when I'm on my turbo train or on the treadmill listening to music via Bluetooth, so there's no internal music store on this, but this is just controlling my phone. So that will pause or play the music when connected to my phone, and you can go forwards and backwards on the tracks. It's not actually connected to my phone right now. With regards to music storage, Garmin do now have coming out very soon, a Garmin 4 and a 645. If you're mainly a runner and you listen to music a lot when you're out running and you don't really want to take your phone with you, then the Garmin Forerunner 645, and not this model, but the Garmin Forerunner 645 has a built-in music memory for up to 800 songs. Okay, so there's a music control, just normal things here. We've got your diary sync from my phone, which I use the, I'm on an Android phone, and that's using my Android calendar to sync the data from there, and smartphone notifications, and a current weather forecast with a hourly and I think, yeah, daily forecast there as well. Again, this is all being powered from the phone, so those would disappear if I didn't have my phone near me. Okay, so they're the main home screen apps. Let's just look at a couple of other key features, because I appreciate people don't watch all these videos. This is another great feature, the control keys. Press and hold the top left, and then you can have access to the commonly used features of the watch. So I can save a location, I can find my phone, I can music control, I can even turn the watch off. Now you can set those. They're very easy to set up in the settings, and it's a useful feature. Another one is you can assign favorite functions as hotkeys. So if I press and hold the top right, I get my torch. So at night time, that would actually illuminate, walking around the house, etc., rather than turning on the lights. If I press and hold the bottom right, I've got that, so it would automatically mark my GPS location. So again, as for sailing, or if something happened and you need to mark a location quickly, then I can do that like that. Just save the location. And bottom left is my stopwatch. And oops, sorry. I think that's it. So those three, 1, 2 and 3, you can assign as favourites, so that's great. To get into exercise mode, it's just press the top right, and then you go through. Remember, the Fenix 5 is for everybody, every single. I've even got tides here. This is a widget that I picked up. So it won't work, so I haven't got GPS. A widget I picked up from the Garmin Connect site, so I get my tide tables. If whatever you're into, you'll be able to find a Garmin widget. So this one's great. I use area calculation. So when I'm gardening and I need to work out the area of the lawn, just walk around the edge of the lawn and it tells me the area. You have duathlon mode, you have triathlon mode. In all of those multi-sport modes you can set up. They don't have to be the normal swim, bike, run. It could be kayak, swim, stand-up paddleboard, or whatever. You can set all those, and they're very easy to do. HRV stress is your stress taken from a chest strap, so you need a chest strap to do that. So you can choose your favourites, you can add them, you can move them, you can do everything. There's nothing they haven't thought about. I've used dozens of Forerunner models. I've used dozens of other top brands like the Polar, recent ones, Polar M430, the Garmin, the Sunto Spartan Trainer Wrist HR, and they're all excellent watches, but Garmin just seem to get it absolutely spot on. So when you go into training mode, let's go into this, let's go into run. Now bike power, that's one I set up, simple to do, but run, let's just go into run. Now straight away, I'm in there. If I press and hold this, I can change the settings here. So I can change the data screens, I can change what type of alerts. I can have alerts based on heart rate, pace, time, distance, etc. You can have a metronome, auto lap, auto pause. I don't even actually know what some of these are. There's so many things. Segment alert, Strava, forgot to say, yay! The Fenix 5 has got live Strava segments, like some of the Garmin Edges. You can choose the level of accuracy of the GPS. Power save mode, if you're doing super long runs, you can set it into power save mode. You can change the colours, everything. What type of training are we doing? Lactate threshold guided test. Race a previous activity. If you set up a training calendar, yeah, you can see it's phenomenal. It's actually just picked up GPS. That's clever. Data screens, yeah, again, you can configure them just one line per page, 2 lines, 3 lines, 4 lines, and it's simple to do. That's picking up pulse off my finger. I love that. Let's just press start. The 5 bands, super easy, super quick for reference. Just double glance down. Aerobic zone is sort of the green zone, anaerobic 1, anaerobic 2, the orange and red. So sort of the red is for peak sprinting, and the blue, between the blue and the green, will be for fat burning. Green is for aerobic improvement. Obviously these aren't going to show anything now because I'm not running. Top right to stop, and we'll get a message. Do we want to resume it, save it, resume later, lap, back to start, discard. I'm just going to discard it. Delete. Yes, there we go. There's so much. Recover instantly. I get a recovery advisor. There's so many things that I should be talking about for this watch because it's absolutely fantastic. These great. Change the strap. Simply push that back, pop that on. Brilliant. Just one word of warning. I bought myself some cheap a black one here. Now it works great. You can see it clips on. But now watch this. If I pull this one down, it's fine. If I pull this one down, it comes off. Now if I was out windsurfing and that happens, that's my Fenix 5 down at the bottom of the sea. So you will see some of these cheap non-Garmin straps. I'd be cautious. It only cost a few quid, but this watch costs a lot more than that, so I'm going to reorder another genuine Garmin black one. One thing that was great, this is a Chinese accessory, is this little fella. This is a silicone case, so it simply slides over your watch. You don't have to take the strap off. It does simply slide over. I'm just making it look awkward. Let's do it this way. There we go. Pop the strap back on. I didn't need to take this strap off. Oh. A really useful new feature on these Garmin Fenix 5 is this quick release strap. So here I've got the as supplied soft silicone like blue strap. To be honest, I would have preferred the black one, but they didn't have it in stock when I bought it. So you can just pop the strap off and pop your new one on. But with that, I will give a word of warning. I did buy, actually off eBay, this black strap suitable for the Fenix 5 model I've got here. And it does fit. And it looks good. And it's soft. But watch this. On this one, if you push that in, nothing happens. It doesn't snag on the case. On this one, if I push it in, it just comes off. The activator there is pushing on the case and popping the strap off. This doesn't. Now if that happened, I'd be lost and my watch would be gone, especially if I was out windsurfing. So maybe be cautious if you are looking at buying a non-branded strap like this one here. I probably will just buy myself a Garmin one, but these ones are considerably cheaper. But if it means you could lose your watch, forget it. One thing I do have is this is a face protector. I need to get a new one now because I took this one off just to show you in the video. It cost about £4. It fits on there, and you don't even know it's there. It sits perfectly. It's made to it just fits inside the bezel. That's something that I think you should invest in. And another useful feature is this. This is just direct from China. It cost me about I think it's about £2, so about $3, $2.50, and it's great because I wear my watch all the time, and as you can see, it is already a bit scuffed up because I'm not the most careful person. But with this, just slide it on here. So while I do this, pop that in there. Excuse me a second, I'm making this look a lot harder than it actually is. So there we go. Now, I'll just put the black strap on just to show you what that looks like. So imagine this is a Garmin black strap, because I'm not going to use this one anymore. Okay, there we go. A sleek black Garmin Fenix 5, protected by a silicone case. Put the face protector on, and then I can wear this every day even when I'm out and about gardening. You don't get glare, it's just because I've just put that on there. It looks a bit rubbish, let's take it off. Okay, so this is the end of the video review of the Garmin Fenix 5. I couldn't give it anything but a 5 out of 5 because it's absolutely superb. Please subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so, that's important. Please like the video, please share the video, and importantly, please check the prices through the links below or visit cardiocritic.com and have a look around because there's dozens more similar videos and product reviews. Okay, this is Tristan for cardiocritic.com. Thank you very much for watching.